Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. I've got a box here, and pardon the stickers all over the front of it so you can't see it, but I think this is part of how we were able to get it here. I got a little story behind this Amazfit original Stratos 3 smartwatch in here. It attempted to come directly from China, and it got kicked back. I'm not sure why. Wow, how beautiful. And it says more beautifully the trademark of the way Amazfit does this. The Stratos 3. You're going to love this one. Beautiful bezel, everything. But before we get into that, let me tell you about it. It's coming to us from Banggood, and these guys are tenacious. After it got kicked back, and by the way, this is the global version, which is why we've been waiting forever for it. It came out like in November of last year, but only in the Chinese version. So we're really fortunate to get the global version, but it wouldn't ship from China. So they have a backup, I don't know how it works, a warehouse in Bahrain. So from Bahrain to Germany, I think from Germany to Chicago, to Cincinnati, to Los Angeles. Anyway, it made its way like 3/4 of the way around the world, all the way around the world if you count coming from China to begin with. So, reason I'm telling you that, whatever watch you've ordered or plan on ordering, it might take a little longer and go through some strange routing to get to you. It's just because of the world situation right now. So, moving on, we've got the Stratos 3 1.3 inch screen, GPS plus 2 or 3 different other satellite systems for enhanced tracking. And that's going to be pretty cool no matter where you live, because now you should get good hookup anywhere in the world. It's a decent price. It's been a lot higher. It's come down, and if I can get you a coupon discount on that, check the show notes down below. Notice the buy now things are not active here because on the US site, it's not available. That's why they had to do some rerouting in order to get it to me. Let's look at the specs. And of course, this compares with the Stratos 2 favorably with a 14-day battery life and 7-day usage in normal, and this 14-day is in the really low power mode, and then about, I think they said 70 hours or so if you're using full GPS on it the whole time. So it's a good long life, and it's longer on the Stratos 3 than it was on the Stratos 2. So we've got the global version. It uses, will hook up with any watch or any phone running Android 5 or iOS 10. Touch sensitive and press buttons. It uses the Amazfit operating system. This is awesome. It's waterproof to 5 atmospheres, so you can definitely swim with this one. It's got support for basic heart rate, not doing blood pressure or blood oxygen. It's not a full-on health band. It's a fitness device in that it now supports 19 different sport modes and something like first beat, they call it, that automatically tracks what it is you're doing and can figure it out with the 6-axis gyroscopic mumbo in there. And you'll get good tracking of whatever activity you're doing, either independently with 19 different sport modes or using that special system that they've got. Has Bluetooth music play and a pretty decent amount of memory in it that you can put in your songs, and of course GPS and GLONASS it says, but like I said, there's a couple of others. You have vibration in it. It's not a phone calling kind of a watch, so there's no speaker and dialer and all of that, but it does have that amazing full round transflective TFT screen, which is to die for. That thing, 320 by 320 pixels, is brighter in the sunlight than it is indoors. And of course, it's backlit for indoors as well. So you've got a really, really awesome screen. That's always been one of the trademarks of the Pace and the Stratos line, and even the BIP, I believe, from Amazfit. And now again, accentuated on the level 3 of the Stratos. Here's your run times. Yeah, 70 hours in the power-saving exercise mode, 35 hours in the accurate exercise mode, 14 days with ultra endurance mode, and standard mode is 7 days. And the accurate exercise mode is with all the GPS stuff turned on. Charging time is about 3 hours. It has a dock for it that we will show you right now. Here's your weight and so forth. And we've got the watch. Let's pop it out of here. It's got a TPU band. And again, we will compare this later on with the Stratos 2. Still have that puppy around. A lot of you guys ask me if I sell them or give them away or whatever. And since I only get one of each of these, I hold on to them. Even though it's been months since we looked at the Stratos 2, we can now pull it out and compare it with the Stratos 3. Here's your charging pins, your diodes and sensor and everything on the back. It's got the carbon fiber case. It looks really, really nice. And one thing new you'll see about this one is it has 4 buttons. Now you may ask, why would I need 4 buttons on a watch? If the screen's wet, you're gonna really be happy. You've got a button that can go up and down and select and back and all those kind of things, because sometimes it's really hard to move on a wet screen. Any of you guys that have gotten your waterproof watches wet, the ones that you can swim in, know what I'm talking about. Generally, when you go into to that mode, the swimming mode, it's completely locked out, the screen is. So you can't actually do anything on it. So you're going to see we've got specialized 4 buttons on here for that purpose. Now, there's nothing else in the main box. And I love to always talk about this. I know you guys want to see the watch, but hey, it's my show. It's entertainment, folks. Look at the box. It's not just square, it tapers. And it's because it's designed so that it can lift up and come out at an angle. Otherwise, you'd have to wiggle it and pull it out like you saw me take the cover out of. Subtle little things like that are just wonderful little additions. Got a couple little things here. Says looks like a charger and looks like a manual. And sure enough, you open it up and that's what you've got. Manual and a warranty card and the charging dock. Now, this already looks different than what I've seen on the Stratos 2. Yeah, looks like an improvement. We've got a nice little round dock, and it should just magnetically couple right like that. It is fully connected, and it's got a little thing to fold up the wire, I guess, and it plugs into a USB port. I'm really happier when I see a dock that has a removable connection, a standard USB, micro USB, or USB-C would be even better, but it doesn't, so you have one dock. You don't have the ability to really slap this on and take it easily with you without possibly damaging the wire. But that's how Amazfit is choosing to do it, and it looks like it's a decent charger, especially when you see the fiasco we went through with the charger for the original Stratos 2. Let's walk through this. This looks like, what have we got here? All in Chinese? Exercises? Wow, I hope this one's in English. Uh-oh. Maybe it's the international version, but we're lucky enough to get everything in Chinese. So we'll follow the pictures. Here's the QR code you need to scan for the Tethering app. That's their specialized Amazfit app. We've reviewed that many times before. We'll talk a little bit about it. Here's your charging dock information and some more stuff in here. There, you can freeze frame it if you want to try to throw your Google Translator on it. Backside, same thing. Now, I did say this is the global version, so, well, we'll see when we turn it on if we can switch it to English. I sure hope so. We've had a couple of times to review some Amazfit products that were only Chinese, and that was a challenge. The little manual, since it is not in English at all, bear with me, folks. I'm going to page through it because you're not going to find this anywhere else. The beauty of YouTube is if you don't want to see this, just skip past it. None of us can read this, so I'm not going to belabor the point. But hopefully I'm showing you enough that if you really do want to take your phone, install Google Translate in it, and point it at the screen, you should be able to have it translate this for you. Or if you know a friend or somebody that could help you out on that, then go for it. If any of you do see this manual somewhere online, send me the link, okay? And check in the show notes, gang, because if there is a link to the English version of any of this, I will definitely have it there for you. And in the case that there isn't, we're just going to take a couple of minutes to show you the screens. Not even going to talk about it like I usually do because I have no idea what I'm looking at. Pictures are here on a few pages. Now this looks like an interesting chart, so take some time to look at that. Boy, I wish I knew what we were looking at. I'm really surprised, this being the global version as advertised, that we only have a Chinese manual in it. But that's what came out, maybe because it went through Bahrain. It's from the Bahrain stock. It might be the earlier version. Okay, move beautifully, gang, and we are going to move beautifully into taking a look at this watch. I'm going to get it charged up for you, bring over the other Stratos, and yeah, let's have some fun. Wow, I really like this watch. I mean, I really, really do. Press the top button, you turn it on after you've charged it up, and it's going to go through its setup cycle. I'm going to tell you a few things, though. When you first get it, at least the one that I got through Bahrain all the way through Germany to the US, that one came basic, and I had to go through, I think, 4 levels of updates to bring it fully up to date. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. As it's booting up, I also wanted to show you its peer, the original Stratos right here. And notice the flat tire on the bottom of this one that's gone now on the new one. So a lot of innovation, a lot of changes. They both are using this really beautiful case, carbon fiber look to it. I say look because I don't honestly know if it's real carbon fiber. They've spread out and enhanced the heart rate sensor stuff. You got the heart rate sensor on the original here with a straight charger and a completely different dock. I'll show you the difference between the two. The new one is way, way better. Curved presentation there. And we mentioned the buttons. You've got the differences in the buttons. 3 buttons on the original and 4 buttons here, where you've got an up-down kind of a button, as well as your back button and your power button and toggle buttons and stuff like that. So it's booted up now. I've got it on this particular face. I'll tell you why. I like the fact I can see the power right here. I can see my instant heart rate, and it does seem to be doing real-time heart rate on it. You got time, and then of course you got the little charts that are showing your step count and things like that. Oh yeah, if you touch the top button, it'll toggle back and forth, and it'll go into the activities, looking for GPS, a quick way to get into whatever your last activity was. This is the back button, and it also toggles you over to your app drawer. Now, I know I'm confusing you because I haven't gone through that with the swipe stuff yet. And phone turned off because it's got the Tethering app in it that I want to show you. By the way, this is my really nice OnePlus 7T. And you know, when I'm showing an app on here that I have tethered to a phone, I mean a watch, that means that that watch is really something special, because it's going to make it on my arm and I'm going to actually carry it daily. When I show one of the older phones tethered to it, it's like, okay, it's a review. But this one I am using. I really am. We'll come back to that as well. We got a lot to cover today. Hope you got time. Okay. When I turn this thing on, I'm in this watch face in particular, and it's got temperature, and then it shows you your step count and calories burned and all that kind of stuff. But there's a variety of faces you can get to, and they've added more and more after each of the firmware updates to it too. So let's walk through it quickly. If I swipe down, I'm getting to this overall location, and you see there's a bunch of dots here on the side that take you through all kinds of different stuff. A do not disturb in airplane mode, your brightness levels, which here it is all the way down in 0, and it's getting it strictly by reflection. Now I'll deviate over to my flashlight. Yeah, it's a regular flashlight with a little twist. I thought, how can I best show you this kind of reflective screen? And this one popped up. This has a lantern built into it. Got this for $5, folks. If you're interested in this flashlight, let me know, and I'll put a link for you. I press it once on the bottom. Oh, it's USB charge too for $5. Press it again, and I've got, whoa, sorry guys, I know that's not good for some of you. And on this one, I've got this lantern in here. It's almost so bright I can't look at it, but it illuminates uniformly. And so now I've got a great way to simulate outdoors and what it looks like in terms of a transreflective or transflective screen. Really, really beautiful. Of course, I can press the button and bring up the backlight, which is set at 0 right now. There's level 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I'm back to regular indoor bright, but I can also replace it anytime with the outdoor light. My friends here, they want to come in quickly and just show you the same kind of thing with the outdoor light. Now see, I don't even have the backlight on this one. The original Pace was the first one, then the number 2 was the Stratos, and now we're on the Stratos 3. So there you go with the outdoor light. And by way of comparison, you guys know this one, the Genesis. Now it's on a high brightness level, but watch, I can swipe down. Oh, it's only on the mid brightness. Okay, I can turn it down. There, it's at its lowest brightness for indoor use, and it's very dim. But if I bring this over, it lights it back up again. That's what the Genesis looks like under normal outdoor lighting. And here is what these guys look like. Transflective screens, they tend to retain more of the color. Reflective screen, it tends to wash out into a black and blue kind of a thing outdoors, but it's full color indoors. And of course, all of them have backlight capability to them that you can adjust and make it brighter for when you're indoors. And there we go, indoor brightness on all of them, just for comparison purposes. And that we got selected right here, which was where I was when we're going through the watch. Told you today was going to be long and enjoyable. Okay, in addition, I'll come back here now. We have the airplane mode, the brightness. This is the twist your wrist to see the time activation. A display brightness, I think that's a power saving mode. Boy, it just keeps jumping on me. And settings. So I'm going to go into settings for a second. This is just way too bright. Let me turn that off. But isn't that cool? That's got a whole, they're starting to come out with really innovative devices. This is a lantern all by itself and a flashlight. So where were we? We are back in here. Into settings. Okay, and then connection is where you can set up your Wi-Fi and whatnot. Overall general is where you can turn on and off do not disturb, go into airplane mode, set your vibration level, and of course your overall brightness, which we just did from the top. You can have the anti-loss feature turned on for when you're tethered to your phone. And location services to activate the GPS within here to locate where you are. Now there's 3 different GPS combinations. And I say GPS because it's GPS plus 3 different other systems, which I don't remember them all. Baidao. I don't know. It's in the specs. I'm not even sure where all of them work on planet Earth, but that's definitely a research project. But the idea is that when you have GPS turned on and you choose one of those 3 combinations, you're getting GPS plus another frequency or another set of satellites to support it. And that gives you better accuracy. Oh, here we go. Okay, just go into it. GPS plus Galileo is one of them. GPS plus Baidao and GPS plus GLONASS. It's always going to give you GPS, so I just grabbed that one, see what it does. Then there's an AGPS reminder. I'm not even sure really what that one is, but every PM at 5 o'clock I can set it to give me a reminder or turn it off. Anybody know what AGPS is? Nice new stuff coming out. Your overall languages. Now, there have been an update after update after update. It used to be just a couple of them, but this is the global version. And so we've got English, US. We've got these different languages in here. And this is as of the latest update. Now, not all of them around the planet are supported, but they definitely have expanded the list of languages that they are supporting. Oop, I don't want to change. Cancel out of that. You can update and change your time format from 12 to 24 hours. That's in general. And then in the preferences is where you can modify the thing to your liking. The raise your wrist, the double tap to unlock the screen if you want to. Your selection of watch faces, which we'll take a look at that in the app. And sport recognition to automatically recognize which different sports you're doing. You can go in here and set a reminder of turning on the sport and a reminder of turning it off if you have it set to auto-recognize when you're doing a workout. And yeah, it has sedentary reminder too, so it reminds you to get up and move around. You got some data sync information, and then your device. And this is where you have the Ultra mode, which is a complete reboot of the watch into a different form that's going to give you basic functions, but that's it for long life. And then, of course, you can come back to the normal mode as well. You get about twice the life, 14 days or so, they say, with Ultra mode, 7 days or so, they say, with regular. You can reboot, power off, and do a factory reset on this. By the way, just like I talk about on the Android watches, when you get this watch and you do the updates, after each update, I highly recommend you do a factory reset, then come back in, get back up on Wi-Fi, do the next update, and do them and do them and do them again, and finish the last one with a factory reset. It's just a clean way of making sure you wiped out any residual junk left over from the last update before going to the new one, and it minimizes your chance of having glitches. About the watch tells you the name, Amazfit Stratos 3, its model, ROM version, serial number, total storage, free storage, and so forth. You have a couple of gigabytes of storage that allows you then to put in music, and you can work with it from there. You can check for updates, and I may as well do it one more time in case I missed one. And this is the process it goes through, but you want to make sure you're on Wi-Fi first. And in order to get on Wi-Fi, and you go into connection and you turn it on, it wants you to put in your router password, but you can't put it in the watch, you have to put it in the app, so you have to tether to the app first. So set aside an hour at least, I would say, when you get your brand new watch to do all of those steps, getting it connected to the app, getting through the app, connected to your router, going through multiple levels of update, and then you'll be good to go. Get a feedback section, and then lab is where they test new features for those that are willing to try some experimental stuff, knowing that it might be fidgety on your watch. You can sign up for their lab. They've had that for years. And that we all got to simply by swiping down, right? Okay. Now, we, like I say, we have all these different dots here that continue around in a loop, except for this one that's a special one when you come down this way like that. I'm going to swipe up, and it's giving me the weather in my area. It's cloudy today, and you can get actual forecast information by clicking here and going into all of that stuff. And that is weather. Come up one more, you get your barometric pressure, and you get your current altitude computed by that in meters. Haven't been able to change that to feet, but it is there. And you can monitor barometric pressure change, of course, on the watch. You get your compass. Now, all of these are, I'm going to calibrate it, are settable. So this is not necessarily out of the box. I've already been playing with it a bit. There we go. I'm always sitting in the north. North is this way, so you're getting the rotation on it. This is the way I've set this one up. I tap here, get location for where I am, activate GPS. I like to do that before I start any kind of an event that's going to use GPS, because it makes sure that it's got downloaded all the latest satellite information and it's good to go whatever I do. I put in the stopwatch, it's available. Last night's sleep time, and it actually showing you what my sleep was like last night. And can I get into this? Oh yeah, here we go. History. Last night and the night before. So I have all the data from sleep reporting on the watch, and it stays on the watch, as well as having it transferred over to the app. You guys that are always complaining that I keep shaking the watch, if you notice that I'm stopping doing that so I don't get you dizzy, you're welcome. I do read your comments. Yeah. Okay, where was I? I was scrolling through. So I go past the weather to the barometric pressure, compass, location, stopwatch, sleep time. Activities, these are the most recent activities that I've done. I did a little outdoor cycling yesterday, and I should be able to go into this. Distance, just to show you. Oh, this is my total stuff, and then now I'm getting into all of my individual activities. Here we go. Outdoor cycling, total distance, time. You can see the categories and the numbers to give you an idea of what's kept on the watch. And again, all of this stuff is transferred over to the Tethering app. You got your heart rate, maximums, minimums, and averages in here. In the zones, the percentage of time you're in those zones. This really is a great sports fitness watch. Look at that, real-time heart rate with your top and bottom readings. Speed, all in here. Yeah, on and on and on. Altitude change and more. And then I can slide over and actually show you my route against just a hashtag. And on the app itself, it'll be against the actual Google Maps. And then more, I can either export it or delete the record. So, wow. Yeah, for those of you who are serious about your fitness, especially if you're using GPS, both the Stratos and this new Stratos 3 have these great capabilities to them. It's just this is a better overall format. Buttons for doing all this up and down that I've been doing. I should be doing that instead of swiping. I'm so used to swiping, though. All of that's available. Now, if I swipe up again, there, okay, I can go past this one into, I'm looping. I have heart rate. This is my 24-hour heart rate report going on from last night's sleeping and so forth. Then I have health, which is my overall step count information. And now I'm back to activities. See, I'm third dot from the bottom. So it just circles through whatever you put on there, and the app will show you where you can adjust and add to or take away what you put on there. I think that's it. Swiping here is your messages, if you have any, pushed from your phone, and it doesn't go any further. Pushing this way, oh, no, we're just beginning. This is the app drawer, and going this way, you can't go any further. So you get the feel from the main screen. You got a loop of a bunch of different screens that you can adjust, and you got notifications, and now you got apps, which is repeats of the screens we've just seen, but in icon forms. So you can leave a lot of those out and do it this way. I mean, it's lots of flexibility. Your overall health, get in here, and that's your step count, information, calories burned, flights, climbs, stairs, long time sitting, and when you had to get up and move around, it reports all of that on you. Shame, shame. Your heart rate, individual reading activity, well, in combination with your last, with your 24-hour reading, it looks like. And of course, I'm not really touching it, so it's not giving me a reading. You've got your sports. And this is what we can get to by pushing that button. And these are all the different things you can go into. And when you choose one of them, it's going to acquire GPS, show you your heart rate and your current battery level. Wow, down to 31%. Well, I did do a lot of activity yesterday and wore it all last night with the 24-hour heart rate on. So I am using up time, but that's less than a day. Okay, and you got a variety of different things. So let's see what we've got. Oh, I'm sorry, 89%. Okay, I was reading it wrong. Good, that's a lot better. running and walking, outdoor cycling, all those use GPS. Then you have actual pool swimming because you got great waterproofness on this watch. Open waters in here now. Treadmill, indoor cycling, elliptical. I mean, it just goes on and on. Rowing, indoor fitness, on foot. So I guess that's like hiking, but not climbing, which is different for altitude. Trail runs. If you want to see what each and every one of these look like and be able to change what they look like, dive into the app because you can go into any one of these, all of these, and modify them to your liking. And you can add or hide different exercises from the overall list. So real great flexibility. That's in sports and in activities. We saw this already in the panel that we went around, is all of that stuff. Here's your awards and stuff, what you've done in the past 7 days. And I've got a training load of 15, whatever that means. You see a bunch of dots up here, it means I can go over here. Oh, cool. It's your blood oxygen max, right? VO2 max calculation. Doesn't have enough data yet for that. Recovery time. Wow. Awesome. Running performance prediction. You just got to accumulate a lot of data on here so that it can actually calculate your particular stuff. But an extremely sophisticated watch with all of these capabilities in it. Okay, and that was all in exercise, right? Then you've got your weather icon, alarms, the compass is here, the barometer, your location. Again, all those are in those panels. The timer, if you want a countdown timer, a stopwatch, which I did put on here. You could also move the timer over there if you do a lot of that. Music player, your sleep time. Your watch faces, which I guess will... No, this actually takes you into a store where you can download additional faces. This isn't the actual where you set the faces, but where you can, for free, download additional faces, which I've done a few. Then to find your phone when you're tethered and back into settings, which we've already been into. So let's take a look at those faces while we are here. I get into my thumbnails, and I'm just going to take you back to the beginning, and we'll take a quick walk through. I know they're much better to look at from the app overall, but I want to show you a few different ones. You get the feel for it if I expand it large. This is the common one. This is the one similar to what we have going on the original watch. And yeah, now you can kind of really compare the two together. The brightness of the backlit screen, I think they're all set the same. And the timeout, there we go. I'm going back out of here. This is operating the same way. I have to back out this way. So anyway, there you go. Comparison of exactly the same watch faces on the two different versions. Very responsive, and touch button doesn't just light up the light, but it also activates what you had intended for it to go into. Let's see some more. Here we go. Analog one. Here's one that's got some white on it. So I want you to see this with the outdoor lighting. I mean, white really comes through. It's very reflective. And you see, you still have that green color. So transflective gives us the rich colors outdoors as well. Hence the price. I think half of the price of this thing is the screen itself. But we are going to start seeing more of those screens, I hope, coming up. And that'll be a good thing because, and the price is coming down on them, because I think a lot of people are excited about having outdoor visibility. Okay, regular analog one. Here's another interesting digital with a white background. Oh, all right, it landed on that, so we'll go into it. When you have it something like this, you can kind of use the backlight as a flashlight, really, so that you can see in the dark. So if you want something really nice and bright, just pick out one of those. I got to remember to keep hitting the back button because that'll just get me back here. I know, we're moving slow, but let's keep on going just to show you. This is one I installed from that server. So is that one. I think all of these are here now from their system where you can install other faces. Now, a few of those are stock. This one is the one I've been using stock. And then here's kind of a funky, crazy looking one. Yeah, I don't know who the artist is behind that one, but that's downloadable. It doesn't come on the watch, but it's something that you can add. It's not all that visible outdoors and stuff, but it's an interesting one. Here's one with a whole lot of data on it. There's one with very little data on it. And yeah, you just choose which one you like, and you're good to go. So what have we not done? Put it on, right? We have really nice removable bands, differ than the bands on here. This looks like cutouts that have been inserted in this one. That's really odd. This has got more ripples. It looks like it's going to handle sweat a little bit better, and pretty much the same length overall for the bands, though. Let's all caught up. Okay, good. I'm all caught up on here. Let's put it on, give you a quick feel for it. You have a lot of ways. You can have it super tight or loosen it 1 or 2 notches, and this stretches so you can really get it to fit just the way you want. And it's I find a very attractive watch. I really do like the inset of the bezel, the way the whole thing looks. I really like the ability to see it indoors even without the backlight. But you turn the light on and it makes it really, really easy to see. So let's talk about the app. It's called Amazfit. You'll find it in the Google Play Store. And of course, you can just click on the link in the show notes down below and we'll take you right over there so you can download it. Just finished synchronizing to the watch, which is now tethered to it. There's a whole section I'm skipping here from when you first download the app to when you go in and set up an account to when you get yourself all logged in, to when you go in and set up to tether to the watch. When you start up the watch the first time, it takes you up to a page that has a QR code. When you start up the app and you get logged in, you get a window with your camera. You put them together after you've selected the watch from the list of available watches, and then you get tethered. Once you're tethered, they drop you into this screen. And as you go out and exercise and do whatever you're doing, this data will be periodically updated, and it'll tell you across the top as it transfers from the watch over to the app. So let's look at from that point forward, okay? You got this overall top report of what you're doing. I've only got 234 steps against my 8,000 step goal, so a long way to go, but you got these rotating circles that are showing you your progress. You got a sleep score here. When you come in, you get a really detailed breakdown of all of your sleep based on deep, light, and time awake. And you could look at it here and get some more detail as you go down here. And then it has charts that shows how well you do against the general population for that particular night. And of course, you're able to check previous nights as well and bring up a way to send this all out to other sources, all kinds of good stuff. You got your heart rate chart. This is a continuous heart rate, as you've seen on the watch itself. You have an overall resting heart rate. Let's turn that brightness down a little bit for you. It's kind of blooming out. You like that? It's an app no longer in the Google Play Store called Display Brightness. I talk a lot about it for putting it on Android watches, but you can certainly use it on a phone too to get just the right brightness you want. You'll find it if you want to download it for your Android phone or your Android watch at tinyurl.com/Android watches. And it's called Display Brightness. Okay, I always get asked, that's why I got to say it, because it's easier to say it to all of you now than to type it out to 15 or 20 people over and over one by one. You've got more detail about your heart rate information here, and it will compute your resting heart rate, mine was 61, and show you some basic information about that as well. That's heart rate. Then you've got this exercise capacity. Over the last 28 days, your training load, I'm at 15. I don't understand that very well, but it's here. So if you want to research it more, you can get in there and check it out. Then I've got my exercise record. It says nothing's available there, but sure enough, they are. And they are tracked from when I did it, most recent time, and they'll go all the way back to the first time I used the app. If I'm registered on the app, it's tracking all of that. And if you go into any of these, not only do you get the full data and information, but you get your exact track against Google Maps because you got it from your GPS, remember? Yeah. So check that whole area out too, your exercise record. And then your goal tracker will tell you if you've accomplished some of the goals that you wanted to do. Beyond this home, oh wait, there's more, but wait, there's more. Okay, we got two more things to show you. There's this, all these different things down here that you can work with, like body computation. You can track your overall weight if you set a goal. Look at this, calf circumference, thigh circumference. You can put all this data in here. Chest, body score, exercise records, PAI. Anyway, a lot of things here. Download the app, body temperature, which you have to enter manually, but eventually they may have devices that will track that and report it on here as well. You can also manually put in your blood pressure and blood oxygen readings. So you've got this whole section here, and then you pull up and you got tools. And this is where you can go into any of these different workouts. You can change your dial settings, which we're about to do right now, which you can also find over in another tab. Let's try it from here. I haven't done this yet. Okay, when I come in here now, I'm in the watch face store, and it's listing, you remember that funky one that we talked about that I've got? It's right here. It's listing a variety of different faces that you can download to your watch. And you can also do a custom watch face and set that all up as well right here. So that's access to the store. But to get actual access to your particular installed faces and switch them from the app, you go all the way over here to Profile, you go into My Devices, and you go into the device. And when you're in the device, now you have ability to touch any of these things and get into stuff, and you have the watch face store. Well, let's try it. So I'm gonna jump over to this face here, and there it lit up and it switched it. Okay, I'm gonna try that one. So it's called the watch face store, but it also is the display of the actual installed face that you're running on the device itself. A little confusing. So that first one I showed you that you could get to from the tools, that applies as well too. And that's just a plain old analog face that looks like that. If you want a very simplistic design, all the way up to all these different kind of complex face designs, including the bright one we were showing you earlier. Again, I'm messing around with it to try to get it to illuminate. There you go. Okay, so that's the watch faces. Couple more things. I don't want to go through every little nuance, but I do want to show you the widget manager. That's what they call these things, are widgets, the ones that you slide up and down and they go to. So you can turn them on and you can reorder them simply by grabbing and moving. And that's how they will appear as they loop all the way around, going forward or backward. And then you have a whole bunch more that you can turn on. If you want to add a timer to it there, it added the timer. And if I want to put that down near the stopwatch, click and hold, drag it down, stopwatch and timer. And now that will be on the watch when I actually cycle through. Okay, anything else here? Application settings, file manager. This is where you can add songs onto the watch. And this is where you can work with GPX, which I think is your GPS track information. If you create a file, you can export that once you get it transferred over from the watch and then use it, you know, in Google Maps or maybe Strava. I don't know. That's getting a little more technical than we want to go in a first look, but that's available for you too. Notification settings, where you set up what notifications you want pushed from the phone to the watch, is where you do that. And then in more, this is where you can also check for your updates. And this is where I went through all the different updates. And this is what they were about. It came shipped on 4.2.2, then I updated to 4.2.3 with all of these new features. Then, after that, and doing a factory restore and checking again, it updated to 4.2.4 with all of these features. Same thing to 4.2.5, and then finally I'm running on 4.2.6.0 right now, and these are the latest updates. So there you have it, from more to here. And that's the last tab. The middle tab just says enjoy. You got all these different things you can go into. The ones that are colored are supported by this watch, and not supported are other things that the app can do, like NFC, weight holding baby, okay, unlocking the screen treadmill. Those are not on the Stratos 3, but they are on other devices apparently, and so they're part of the overall Amazfit app, which covers all of their different products. Okay, I did want to show you, and last thing, in comparison, because you may still not be sure whether you want the original Stratos with the flat tire or the new Stratos 3, but this may convince you. Here's the dock for this one, and you gotta line it up and make sure it sits in here in a way that these spots are going to hit those pins, and it's kind of gotta click. Anyway, get back out of here. Oh yeah, it's a different watch, so whatever. All right, yeah, it's still not in there seated properly. So I had a lot of trouble with the dock that came with the original, and thank goodness they have changed that so that now, well, heck, look, I've got the pins up there, I got the dock here. I think if I loosened it up a little bit, and I wanted to get really creative, I could actually, I hadn't even tried this, I could actually slide the dock underneath. Sure enough, it locked in place. I could wrap this around my arm, and I could attach it to a power dock, yeah? And I could actually charge it if I needed to from a power dock while wearing the dock. Well, interesting. Did not plan to go there. I could definitely just show it to you this way, okay? On a regular table, you just slap it down there. It locks in perfectly. It's good and strong. It'll actually hold the watch, and you don't have to fuss with it for alignment purposes like you did on the original. Wow, we've covered a lot today, guys. If you're still with me, I really appreciate it. You must be interested, so check the show notes down below. See if we got a buying link for you. See, by now, hopefully, we've got the ability to buy in your country. It keeps shifting, and like I said, they're getting creative and putting out warehouses all around the world to help support everyone. So hopefully you'll be able to get yours soon. When you're watching it right now, if it's still in June of 2020, shipping for anything is a little challenging, so give yourself some extra time and patience. They're all working on it to try to figure out how to get back on track and get these products to you as soon as possible. You've been watching Smartwatch Ticks. We appreciate your subscription on our channel. And of course, the like button is really nice if you click on that too, because that helps folks know that this is a valuable video that they may want to take a look at. All right, we'll see you again soon.